Welcome to another Book and a Beer, where we bring reading and drinking together. I'm your host, Joe, and today we're talking about V.E. Schwab's latest book, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So Addie LaRue is a girl who makes the wrong deal with the wrong god, and she wishes for more time. And this kind of god, everything he gives comes with a bit of a caveat. Have you ever played that game where somebody says, pick a superpower, and then you give them a really crappy version of it? Like if somebody says, oh, I'd like to be able to fly. And then you say, okay, you can fly, but you can only go 5 miles per hour. That's kind of what's going on here. So she gets time, basically immortality. But nobody can remember her, ever. She meets somebody, they turn around, they forgot she ever existed. You know, she could be out on a date somewhere with somebody and they're having a great time, and then he goes in the next room to get champagne and he's saying, you know, I really like you. I'm really having a good time. Oh my God, who are you? How did you get in my house? And why are you naked? Scratch that. Why am I naked? I'm calling the cops. And he calls the cops. By the time the police pick up and say, police, what do you want? He's, I don't know. I'm naked and I'm angry and I don't know why. So the real jumping off point of this story is she meets a guy for the second time. She doesn't expect him to remember her, but he says, hey, I remember you. And then stuff. Spoilery stuff. Today's beer is from Refined Fool Brewing Company, and it's Zane lost his avocado bag. I mean, right off the bat, 10 points Gryffindor for the name, right? I mean, you're not going to confuse that with some other beer that has avocado in the name. And by the way, there's no avocados in the actual formula, in the brew, in any part of it. Avocados are not used at all. It's just the name. It's just like they were sitting around thinking, what should we name this newest recipe of ours? And Zane said, I can't help you pick a name right now. I've lost my avocado bag. And they said, good enough. Now this is a brute IPA. What does that mean? Anytime you're in the craft beer aisle, you're going to see a ton of IPAs. And this is because of their versatility. The guidelines are very flexible. But anytime they are flexed, even a little bit, that's like a new sub-IPA. Hence, this one, brute. Now what makes this one different is in the brewing process, there's an additive, a different kind of enzyme added to brute IPAs, which uses up more of the sugar, turning it into more alcohol. What this means is that you get a stronger beer, but you also get a drier beer. It's not going to have that juicy quality or the sweetness that your regular IPAs will have. It's often referred to as the champagne of IPAs because of how dry it ends up coming out. If you've ever looked at the nutritional info of your big brands, you'll notice they never talk about any kind of sugar at all, often saying 0 sugar. And that's true for a lot of those big brands. Craft beer, however, usually has quite a bit of sugar, but with brute, more of that sugar is turned to alcohol, less sweetness, less juice. More spilling. Normally I like to pour a little extra straight down the center to kind of build up this foam. Not necessary with this one. Or I just screwed up the pour. You can definitely smell the hops. It's not as strong as your normal IPA, which it shouldn't be, but you can still smell them. That's bitter. Not bad. What I love about a book like The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is the way it stuck with me anytime I wasn't reading it, and the way it made me really think. Because you've got this girl who's going through life and has this ability and or curse, depending on how you look at it. And anytime she had some kind of interaction, it made me think, how would I have handled that similar kind of thing if I had the ability to be forgotten, or the curse? And then it makes me think about all these other different situations. I mean, how is she ever going to get a job? How is she ever going to earn any kind of money? How is she ever going to have any kind of relationship, romantic or otherwise? You know, that's something that I think when you don't have it becomes as crucial as air or water. I'm definitely getting that dry sensation out of it now. I mean, I've never been much of a champagne drinker, so I don't have a lot of experience, but I can even draw the parallels between this and something like a ginger ale without the sugar. I mean, it's very bubbly. The bitterness isn't as strong as I thought it was going to be. I was actually really concerned about how bitter this was going to taste without all the normal amount of sugar and sweetness and juice. So The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue gets 4.5 stars. I mean, I could read a whole series about this where let's see Addie try to become the world's most famous cat burglar. Let's see Addie LaRue try to become, I don't know, an actress or something. How would that affect the whole world if she was in a movie? Honestly, there could be just 50 books in a row. Just here's Addie LaRue trying this career, you know, biochemist. Don't really know how her ability / curse would affect that, but I would be interested to find out. And the whole time my wheels would still be spinning about what I would do in that situation and how I would have made different choices, and then where those choices would have led and what the consequences would have been to that. It just stayed with me the whole time and afterwards. Zane lost his avocado bag. Sorry, but I gotta go 3.5 stars. Turns out I'm not a big fan of Brut IPA. I was worried, and it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to take one sip and want to pour it down the drain based on the description of dry and champagne-like and no sugar and no juice. It's not as bad as all that, or as good as all that. If you're someone who does like a very dry drink, it may not even live up to your standards if that's what you're hoping for. 3.5, because not as bad as I thought, but still not something I want another one of. I'll finish that one, but that's it. So this has been another book and a beer for the scholarly and the drunken. If you liked this video, make sure you hit like, subscribe to the channel, and put some comments down below about the books and the beers that you want to see on this show. Otherwise, until next time, cheers. Are many and vivid. Then there's a new shove. It was up in here. That's not it. Beer flavored champagne. I know, specific. I'm gonna leave it there.